What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing just something I've been thinking about lately. As far as I've been seeing certain things, especially after the NBA's All-Star Weekend and things like that. And speaking on a lot of young guys, a lot of young players, and a lot of stars are getting older that's still in the league, still prominent, but the question I want to say or ask or even pose is, who will be the face of the NBA in the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years? Of course, like I spoke to prior, and I said, the older stars are getting older and they won't be around too much longer. Now, granted, we all know the anomaly, which is LeBron James. And you look at guys like him, you look at guys like Steph Curry, you look at guys like Kevin Durant, you look at the Kyrie Irvings, you look at a lot of older players that are still, on the forefront of the league, still being all-stars, still being, productive out on the court. But it may be time that we look forward a little. We look forward a little. We look at guys that's maybe time for them to thrust themselves into being the actual face of the NBA. And to be the face of the NBA, it's not about being clean cut, because we know Michael Jordan was not clean cut. He had the gambling accusations. We can talk about Kobe Bryant and his off the court issues. We can talk about, a host of other players. But when you look at a face of a league, you want. I'm not saying you have to be clean cut. I'm not saying you have to say all the right things all of the time. What I'm saying is, are you a player to be able to take the game from where it is and then thrust it to where it could go potentially in the future? Now, that's one thing we can say from the days of Magic Johnson. That's what happened. Showtime with the Lakers and things like that in the 80s. You look at the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. You look at, the Los Angeles Lakers when they did their three-peat in the early 2000s. You also look at a team like the Golden State Warriors. You even look at certain guys during that time. Now, like I said, being the face of the league is completely different than being popular in the NBA. That's two different conversations. I think there are a lot of popular players in today's NBA, because we can go down the line of guys that I think are popular, but I don't think are faces of the NBA. Guys like Joker. Joker is not the face of the NBA. I don't think, he even wants to be the face of the NBA. He's not a very polarizing, popular, he's not that player. The Nuggets won a championship and he just was happy that the season was over. You look at Giannis. Giannis is another player who puts his head down and work. Even though he's in commercials, has his own signature shoe and things like that. Has been a multiple time MVP. But when I look at, like I said, faces of the league, Ja Morant was on his way. He was in all the NBA commercials and things like that. Own signature shoe, and his gameplay alone was definitely putting him in the stratosphere of being the face of one of the many young faces of the NBA. Same thing can be said about LaMelo Ball. Very polarizing game. Embraces the spotlight, knows that he wants the big moments and things like that. Has been an all-star. Has his own signature shoe. But I think I want to cater to a few guys when I say these names. I think faces of the league, I wouldn't be hard pressed to mention this guy, number one. And I'm going to mention more guys that are 25 and under. They're either 25 or under 25. So guys like Luka Doncic, 25 years old, embraces the big moments at all costs. Luka is Luka. We get that Luka magic anytime he's on the floor. It's anything is liable to happen. The guy scores 73 points in a game. I think with him being in a market like Dallas, bodes well for his brand. He is a Jordan Brand athlete. So I could see Luka being the face of the NBA, being an international superstar that he is, been a pro since about the age of 16. So looking at Luka and saying Luka Doncic can be the face of the NBA, that's not too far fetched. You look at guys like Anthony Edwards, who's another young emerging star on a very, very good team in the Minnesota Timberwolves, who at the end of the day, they could be one of the favorites to represent the West in the NBA Finals. Maybe, possibly. You look at Anthony Edwards in the MVP type of season he's having. I wouldn't be hard pressed to say he's even one of the catalysts that could be the face of the league in a few years. Draymond Green even said that. But it was one thing that stuck out to me the most when it came to Anthony Edwards and what occurred during All-Star Weekend and the things he said about the game not really meaning anything. It's fun and things like that. You know, the comments kind of rubbed me the wrong way just on a competitive standpoint. But again, it is what it is. Hopefully, as he grows and gets older and matures within the league, he realizes those things. But again, some of these guys that I am naming, you know, has to want to be the face. You know, because LeBron James has shown throughout the years in the course of his time in the NBA, you know, we're going on, you know, he's been in the league over 20 years. He's been in the NBA longer than he's not been in the NBA. So when you look at LeBron and look at the track record that he has as being popular, as being, you know, even in his time going to Miami and being the villain, he still was popular. He still is a draw. So at the end of the day, you look at him. I look at guys like Stephen Curry, who's had the track record. Now, I believe I may be wrong. I think Stephen Curry is the face of the NBA. I think every time Stephen Curry is on the basketball floor, it's must-see TV. That's just where I'm going with this. I think he is the face of the NBA currently. But again, just to speak on other guys, you got guys like Jason Tatum, who has had, you know, regular season success, has had playoff success, but hasn't had that championship success just yet. You look at guys, you know, and if we're talking about guys under that, you look at Victor Wembanyama, who's at 19 is just unbelievable. You know, could he be one of the faces or the face of the NBA as we go into the future? That's also possible. You know, I don't want to discredit Joel Embiid, but because of his injuries, I don't think Joel Embiid has a lot more years under his belt to actually be on the forefront and the cusp of, you know, potentially being the face of the NBA, even though he is a former MVP. But like I said, it's so many guys that we can discuss in this conversation. You know, even if you are a fan or not a fan of a certain team, you have to look at certain guys and say, I can see him, you know, taking the league over and being that star guy, you know, being that guy, the guy of the league, you know, one that holds the flag high for the NBA. So that's what, you know, even though people may have not liked the Bulls in the 90s, Michael Jordan was that guy. You know, he took the game from where Magic and Bird had it and he elevated it. You know, I don't know if the game has been elevated since then. You know, yes, the players are better. Talent is better. But has the game elevated again from where Michael had it? You know, I look at the style of play. Style of play has changed due to Steph Curry and the three-point shot, analytics and things like that. But for sure, I want to say this, you know, being the face of a global brand, you know, a lot comes with that. And I don't know if a lot of guys that are currently on certain teams of the NBA are ready for that. I don't want to miss out on one guy and one guy in particular, and that is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think if it's not Joker this season for MVP, I think it's SGA winning his first MVP this year. I can see a situation happening like that. The guy's he's off the charts offensively. You know, one of the top leaders as far as steals go in the NBA. And his team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are one of the better younger cores of the NBA today, and they are one of the favorites to possibly come out of the West. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. NBA fans, basketball fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.